Hey, 5-on-5 flag football coaches, it seems like the season might be happening this year, which is great news. Let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check out some simple and easy 5-on-5 flag football plays that we can run with a younger under 10 football team. Okay, so in this first play, what we're going to have is just a simple running play. We're going to be having player 4 go up 5 yards and cut towards the right side. Player 5 is going to be going straight downfield, same as player 3. Player 2 is going to loop around. He's going to get the handoff from player 1, and what we're hoping for now is for the defense to have shifted over towards that right side, because our players are mostly focused on that side. What I really want to see happen is player 1 to drop back and act like he's going to throw. Maybe throw or fake a couple of 1 or 2 passes and then have player 2 loop around, hand off, and run up that left side. Now, out of the same formation, we could actually really confuse the team and have the players do the exact same thing, except this time when player 2 loops around, he doesn't go and actually get the ball. He loops around and then goes straight down that left side. Meanwhile, player 1 would still be faking the handoff with player 2. And now, depending on who's open, personally, I would be really looking at player 4 running underneath the defense, especially if we've ran this 2 or 3 times before. We could get the defense to really start shifting towards the left side and really not paying attention to player 4 cutting out towards that right side. And the defense may have shifted out towards this left side because they're worried about the initial handoff, but then later on, these 2 players later downfield as well as player 2. And in reality, we may just be able to sneak a couple of yards with player 4 who's going up that right side. Now, another simple play that you could run is having player 4 and 2 running straight down 5 yards and then cutting out towards at a 45-degree angle. I'm not going to say what the cuts are called. It's just more easier for me to explain it this way for beginner coaches. And now, at this point, what I want to see happen is player 5 and 3, I want them to be cutting up. I'm going to move player 5 right to the side. They're going to be cutting up 5 to 10 yards, and then they're going to be cutting back in the opposite direction as to where they are. What I really want to see happen is player 1 really look for these inside players as the quarterback's number 1 option. And if they're not open, to look farther downfield on the side that they're running out on. So if they're right-handed, they're usually running out on that right side, to really look for player 2. Now, if you wanted to change things up and you wanted to make it so that every player has a chance, you can still have these players cut down, still have player 2 cut out, but you could have player 4 looping over top of all those players instead, so that now if it's a right-handed player, you're giving an option to each of the players to have a possibility of catching that ball. Especially at the younger age, you might want to run it this way. And now you'll have player 4, maybe not 15 yards downfield, but try to aim for about 10 yards. Most 10-year-olds should be able to throw 10 yards if they're a quarterback. So if they're not, then time to practice, I guess. But that's a fantastic play to run. Now, another simple play to run is to have player 4 and 2 cut up 10 yards and then cut back down towards the sidelines, and having player 5 and 3 cut out just above those 4 and 2 players. So right at the 10-yard line, I know there's 5, 10, 15 yards here, but let me redraw this. Have player 4 and 2 cutting back, and 5 and 3 cutting out towards the sidelines at the 10-yard mark, and that should give you a great ability to run some plays. So another great play that you could run is another running play, and you can have player 4 and 3 curl out towards the sidelines, player 5 cutting right downfield, and now you'd be able to hand off the ball to player 2 who's going to be running down the middle. This is a great option, and really teach him how to move laterally so that when he goes up towards a defender, to be able to shift laterally downfield. He really wants to try and take that side of the field to himself. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.